At the Carson Tonight Show stage shows Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon, and Larry King. Carson.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Too Bad You're Dead Night show. Larry King has decided to stick around for our next guest. Are you familiar with our next guest, Larry?
King.
Not really.
Carson.
How about you, Ed?
Shows Ed McMahon sleeping. Carson.
Okay, whatever. We won't disturb Sleeping Beauty. But please give a warm round of applause for who I'm told was a comedian and was even a cast member of Saturday Night Live, Norm Donald.
Norm MacDonald comes out. Norm goes to shake Johnny's hand. Johnny looks confused. Norm tries to shake Larry King's hand, but Larry refuses to acknowledge him. He looks over at McMahon, who's sleeping. Norm tries to sit at the chair closest to Carson, but King refuses to move. Carson.
Mr. Donald, we thought you were going to be giving us some stand-up?
Norm.
Johnny, it's McDonald. Like the burger joint? Or that old farmer who had a farm? E-I-E-I-O?
Carson.
Oh, well, sorry about that. I heard you were a comedian, sir. We anticipated that you were going to be giving us some stand-up.
Norm.
What? The guy in the back said I was going to be interviewed. I don't have any material. I was hoping I could sit down and we could talk.
Norm looks at Larry King, who still refuses to move. Carson.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go over there by that stage right there and try some stand-up, and then maybe after the commercial you can come by and sit if we have time.
Norm.
Well, I didn't have any material prepared. Maybe since this old Mr. King fellow won't move, maybe I can stand by the stage and you can ask me some questions?
Carson, looking befuddled and annoyed, says,
Well, whatever.
Norm walks over to the stage, smiles, waves at Johnny and says,
Here's Johnny.
Carson.
So, you're a comedian and you have no material prepared, is that right?
Norm.
That is correct.
Carson.
Okay. Where are you from, Mr. MacDonald?
Norm, smiling.
Canada, eh?
Larry King palms his face in agony. Carson.
Whereabouts in Canada? It's a pretty big country.
Norm looks confused, takes a piece of notepaper out of his back pocket, reads it, and asks,
Was that a euphemism?
Carson.
I beg your pardon?
Norm.
What? Oh, well, the guy in the back said if I get stumped, to just ask if something was a euphemism.
McMahon wakes up and cackles, ha, ha, ha. Carson.
So, are you telling me, sir, that you got stumped when I asked you where in Canada you're from?
Norm, smiling and nodding enthusiastically.
That's right.
Carson looks over at Larry King incredulously as Larry shrugs. Carson turns back to Norm and asks,
Okay, very well. Well, sir, how did you die?
Norm.
Are you asking me on the record or off the record?
Carson.
Sir, we are in front of a dead studio audience, so I guess it would be on the record.
Norm takes a different piece of paper out of a different pocket, reads it, and says,
Cancer. I died of cancer.
Carson looks at the camera and says,
I apologize, folks. I had no idea we were having on such a doofus tonight. I feel like Letterman when he had Joe Quinn Phoenix on.
Norm.
I think you mean River Phoenix. I saw him backstage, as a matter of fact.
Carson.
No, that's not what I mean, sir. I still can't believe how unprepared you are for this. What is your deal?
Norm, after laughing and looking at the camera with a shit-eating grin.
Unprepared? Why, Johnny, I did bring a box of condoms.
Norm, from a third pocket, takes out a bunch of condoms that fall to the floor. Carson looks over at McMahon and asks,
Is this a gag or something, Ed? Is this your doing?
Norm, Johnny, with all due respect, I think it's you. You're the one who's pulling a gag. Carson, turning back to Norm, asks,
Oh, yeah? Well, how do you figure?
Norm, well, you and I have actually met before, when we were still alive. Carson.
Is that right?
Norm. That's right. I even talked about it on Larry's talk show. Carson turns to Larry King and asks,
Is that right, Larry?
King.
I don't have the slightest clue what this guy's talking about.
Norm. Don't know what I'm talking about. Larry, don't you remember? When we were done with the interview, we were going to grab a burger. You wanted to go to McDonald's because of my last name, and I wanted to go to Burger King because of your last name. You don't remember that? King.
Sir, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Norm. Well, anyway, what happened was that I was on Larry's show, and you came up, Johnny. I told the story how I was trying to get booked on your show before you retired. But one of your producers wanted me to go on a Monday, where Leno was guest hosting, as they said I was more of a J comedian than a Johnny one. McMahon.
Hey-o!
Norm. So I didn't meet you then. But then years later, when you were retired, I did an impression of Larry on SNL, and then you called me, and I came over, and you and I read Larry King articles. We each took turns with our Larry King voices. Carson.
Okay, now that you do say that, I do kind of remember that, but I thought I did that with Dennis Miller.
Norm. No, it was me. Norm just stands there smiling at Johnny. Johnny finally says,
Okay, whatever. Do you have anything else for us?
Norm pulls out a note from a fourth pocket and says,
Well, sure I do. Let's see here. Oh, yeah.
Live from Tom's phone, we're not alive.
It's Saturday Night Live, starring an ever-evolving cast that has unionized and refuses to allow their names to be mentioned until their demands are met. Musical guest, Jimi Hendrix, and your host, River Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, River Phoenix.
Applause, applause, applause. River Phoenix.
Thank you. It's fine to be here. Mr. Murphy asked me to host because when he was a kid, people used to tell him he looked like me. And people wonder why I did so many drugs. Can you imagine how insulting that is? He doesn't even have any hair. Anyway,
Christina Farley, Jane Belushi, and Leslie Nielsen all come out. Christina. Oh my God! Ladies, can you believe it? It's actually him. Jane Belushi.
I'd love to river his Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Oh, hey ladies. How's it going? Can I help you?
Farley. Do you want to go play some pool? The winner gets an 8-ball. Phoenix.
Whoa, surely you realize that's out of line to say.
Nielsen.
Well, of course we know that. And don't call me Shirley. Leslie works fine as a woman's name.
Phoenix.
Okay, well, what's up?
Belushi.
We wanted you to know we stand by you.
A stagehand gives River a guitar as the four stand together and sing.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon's the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. just as long as you stand by me.
Applause, applause, applause. Phoenix.
That's right, I was in Stand By Me. Thank you. I hope you're all ready to stand by me, all along the watchtower, and ready to smoke some purple haze, as the one and only Jimi Hendrix is here tonight. We'll be right back.